Welcome back to the channel, amazing people. We got Australia wildlife shorts.
Oh my gosh.
That was so complicated for me to say that. I don't know why, but I know they have wildlife like kangaroos, spiders, and
Australia, they got the life. Let me tell you, they got them animals, they got them insects, and they be big.
Yeah.
They be big.
They be big. Pause. But they be big. Besides that, Tasia, introduce yourself. Tell us where you're from, man.
What's poppin'? Why are you closing your ears? Watch out. Y'all know who it is. It's your girl Tasia on the mic. What's up? Y'all follow me on my TikTok at Tasia_didit and on my IG at _Nataija_. And if you've been to Rainy TV, you know them descriptions is down low. Click on them links and I'ma see you in them follows.
I ain't gonna lie, I have to steal that. Because she always doing that, bro.
Spiders. But recently we found a new one. Because of course we did. And the new one is the most certified Australia moment I've ever seen. For a bit of context, one of the several thousand spider species we are home to is the Sydney funnel web. The deadliest spider on the planet. Because of course it's down here. Where the fuck else did you think you were going to find it? These scary looking fuckers are highly venomous and can flatline you with a bite in 15 minutes.
15 minutes? You're cooked. How you better get to the ambulance or the hospital in 15 minutes? There's no way you're surviving. That spider looks creepy, bro. I would lose my mind.
And if you think wearing thick clothes will save you, be aware the bastards have fangs long enough to punch through shoe leather. Now, why do I bring these little nightmares up? What is the one thing worse than a spider rocking armor-piercing rounds that can send you to heaven with same-day delivery? A bigger spider rocking the same perk setup. That's right, Australian scientists have found a brand new species of this funnel web that is even bigger. How much bigger? Well, the standard Sydney funnel web grows to around 5 centimetres or 2 inches. And I mean, if you're asking me, 2 inches is more than enough. Actually, fucking huge. By comparison, this is the new one. It's twice the fucking size, cunt. 4 inches of 8-legged menace to the animal kingdom. But that isn't even the best part. You see, do you know what they named this thing? Do you know what professional scientists named a supersized version of the most dangerous spider on the entire fucking planet?
What'd they name it?
The Newcastle Big Boy.
The big boy.
Deadliest spider on the entire fucking globe. Big Boy. Only in Australia. Australia has Australia's scariest spider is hiding a deep secret. But what is it? Well, introducing the Huntsman, native to the land down under, and the #1 cause of tourists absolutely shitting themselves on camera.
I would too. Oh.
And look.
I would poop my pants. Imagine just being in an Airbnb and seeing that. I'm packing my bags and I'm going back on a plane.
I don't do spiders.
In defense of said tourists, I will be the first to admit, yeah, this looks scarier than a f***ing job application. Those gangly ass legs and the hair make him look like Slender Man's testicle. Now, as if having a negative charisma stat wasn't bad enough, I regret to inform you that the Huntsman spider grows up to 30 centimeters in size, making it the largest spider on the planet by leg span and legally allowing Subway to market him as a foot long. Now, being the spider equivalent of a Ford F-150, you'd think he'd have the common decency to be slow, you know, tank build. Unfortunately, the Huntsman is f***ing turbocharged. Now, it's usually at this point in the video that I would inform you that he is also highly venomous, because it's Australia. However, that's his big secret. The Huntsman is a big sweetheart. You see, despite looking like an SCP, Huntsmen are incredibly timid, and on the rare occasion they do bite, their venom is harmless. In fact, seeing one of these bad boys in your house is a blessing in disguise, because if you see a Huntsman in your home, I guarantee you won't see any annoying ass flies or mosquitoes, because he's eaten them.
That's good for the summertime, but when the winter comes, you gotta get out my house, spider. You gotta go pack your bags. You got 3 months, 4 months summer with me, and you gotta go back home.
You see, he understands he's big enough that he should be paying rent, and so he contributes to the household in pest control.
Yeah.
I personally have had one of these bad boys as an 8-legged roommate, and I can tell you they're pretty good company. Ooh. Except for the part where they cause car crashes. Yet you see, huntsmen like to hide in tight spaces and cracks, and they do it by flattening out their body to fit into the gap. Now, in the house, that usually means you'll just find them behind a painting, but when you're flying down the highway at 110k an hour and decide to flip down the sun visor because God is trying to flashbang you, yeah, they like to sleep in there and you've just dropped one into your lap. Now, whatever you do, don't panic or you're going to crash the... This wasp is basically a
I don't like wasps.
Introducing the tarantula hawk wasp.
I don't like wasps. You ever got stung by a wasp?
No.
You don't want to.
No, I don't
want
want
to. Like a hot, like...
I'll probably die.
Stove.
Possibly one of the most nightmare-inducing insects on the planet. And the reason it's such a threat to your mental health is because its hunting and reproduction strategy is ripped straight from Ellen Ripley's autobiography. But before we get to the strats, you're gonna have to learn a little bit about it first. Native to Australia, because of course it fucking is, this fucker is the largest wasp on the planet, coming in at a massive 2.5 inches.
Wow.
Which, I mean, boys, we would all agree, well above average, right? Huge. And this is probably the most effective 2 inches has ever been because it has the second most painful sting of any insect on the planet, coming in just barely behind the bullet end. Pack and a half inch stinger with a potent venom that has been described as blinding, debilitating, and electric. Now, the size and poison aren't just for nothing, because as the name tarantula hawk wasp suggests, they are purpose-built, genetically perfect killing machines designed specifically to violate spiders, making Australia basically an all-you-can-eat buffet for them. But they don't just execute the spiders. No, that'd be too normal. Hawk wasps use spiders to reproduce in one of the most horrific ways possible. And that all starts with a female hawk wasp hunting down a tarantula. As the buff bulking spider takes a wrong turn down a dark alley, the hawk wasp, noticing the 8 sets of TNs on his feet, proceeds to jump him, flying down from above to land a sting into the spider's abdomen, instantly and permanently paralyzing it. The Bug Harbour butcher then proceeds to drag the still completely conscious and aware spider into an isolated kill room, which is where the fucked up part really begins. Because our wasp isn't...
Bro, he's taking him to the dungeon so he can terrorize him. That's what he's doing, taking him to the dungeon.
What type of bugs are on this world?
Hungry. It's pregnant. And proceeds to lay its egg on the paralyzed spider's abdomen. After about 3 to 4 days, that egg hatches into a larvae. A very, very hungry larvae. Fortunately, there's a whole bunch of fresh fruit right here underneath them. That food being the still paralyzed, still very conscious and aware spider. The larvae burrows into the spider's abdomen and gets to work converting it into a KFC family bucket, consuming it from the inside out, purposely avoiding vital organs to keep the food nice and fresh.
Well, at least that that wasp is like born with food right in front of you, food on the table. That's kind of weird, ain't it? Lay the egg and then your children eat right there. That's fresh fruit, bro. That's crazy.
After it's done consuming a live...
But look, that's basically...
The larva goes inside the body and purposely avoids its organs and eats just the meat so it can stay alive and stay fresh. You ever heard about a rat getting pushed down someone's throat and it just be going, you know? It's like...
That's crazy.
This is wild.
Yeah.
This is wild.
It is wild. I'm gonna have a dream about this tonight. I am.
Being, the larvae breaks forth from the demolished corpse like a fucking chestburster and fucks off to continue the generational arachnid violation. Anywho, good luck getting any sleep. This crazy. Seal is such a menace that he routinely gets the cops called on him. Introducing our protagonist, Neil the Seal, a 600 kilo absolute unit of a southern elephant seal from my home state of Tasmania in the land down under, who is known for, above all else, being an absolute fucking menace to polite society. But despite his crimes, we all still truly love him. But what are his crimes? Well, see, he seems to just fucking hate traffic cones and road safety in general, has regularly been caught trespassing, and then once he has been caught trespassing, belligerently screaming at locals because they won't give him his fucking fish, and has been known to just block roads by plopping his fat ass down directly in the middle of them. However, hands down, the funniest shit he has ever done was just straight stopping this random lady from going to work. I shit you not. This motherfucker crawled out of the ocean, up the beach, crossed the road, absolutely fucking bodied this woman's poor letterbox, and then proceeded to plant himself directly in front of her fucking car.
That's bold right there.
She was then unable to go to work because this half-ton beefcake was camping her driveway for so damn long.
Imagine explaining this to your boss. You know, you got a video evidence. You can say, "Here, boss, that's the reason why I can't go to work." I know the boss was like dying laughing,
Ray,
man.
you be the boss.
Dang.
Hi, I'm gonna be late today.
What's the reason?
There's a seal in my car.
A seal? Are you making jokes? Are you serious? That's crazy. That's actually insane. Like, you gonna have to literally send a video. It's almost like saying your dog ate your homework, but worse. Like, for real. Like, that's not. It's like, what?
Local news had time to drive out to her house and cover the fucking story. Now, this is a lot of menace for a single seal to cause. But the funniest part of this is, old mate isn't even fully grown. He's like 5 years old. If you think he can fuck things up now, wait until he's nearly 2 solid-ass tons of blubber and takes issue with the wall of your house. I do not think that seal damage is covered on my fucking insurance plan, dude.
Like
This bird has to rearrange its organs and skeleton just to lay an egg.
This cute little guy is the Kiwi bird, a species of ratite native to New Zealand this time, and the absolute poster child for getting cucked by evolution.
You see, this walking featherball is actually directly related to the emu, ostrich, and cassowary, being a member of the same family of flightless birds. However, there is a problem. You see, the rest of the Kiwi's bloodline actually looked up a build guide before picking their stat spread, and as such made sure to trade the whole flying thing for something useful.
With all of his cousins specking into speed, size, and some kind of offensive capability.
So that leaves the question, what did the Kiwi pick to make up for not flying? Absolutely f***ing nothing. Kiwis are tiny in comparison to their relatives, coming in at only 4 kilos in weight and 50 centimeters tall. This is because Kiwis evolved largely on an island with no natural predators, so they downsized and traded out the knife feet and bloodlust for just being a little guy with a good attitude, which honestly worked pretty well for them, until the British did British things, and now they have to deal with cats and dogs trying to eat them. And considering this build was not designed for PvP, they have been clapped so hard by invasive species that they are now unfortunately an endangered animal. But getting shafted by the British is just the beginning of the generational violation of the Kiwi, because these poor feathered fruits can't even reproduce without getting f***ed over. You see, the Kiwi bird's cousins are famous for laying huge eggs. I'm talking hit your protein macros in one meal-sized eggs. And you would think that is because they are large. And you would be wrong. Because their vertically challenged cousins have to lay eggs the same size.
A Kiwi bird lays eggs 20% the size of their body. With the egg being so bloody large, it rearranges their internal organs and stretches their rib cage just to be able to hold the thing. For reference, that is like a human giving birth to a 15-kilo child. That's not a bun in the oven anymore. That's a whole f***ing bakery.
Yeah, that is. I know. Sores.
That is a mess.
Yeah, I know. That's a hot mess.
This isn't a spider. It's a snake. Introducing the Iranian spider-tailed horned viper. As the name suggests, native to Iran, and you are all probably wondering why the f*** this snake has decided to attach a cosplay of the average Australian resident to his tail. The answer is food. You see, every known snake species is a predator. Some eat Bambi, others eat Remy, and the spider tail, not unlike myself, absolutely fucking loves KFC. However, birds famously tend to fly, and last I checked, nope ropes don't have wings. So, how does this viper get his zinger box? The answer is, again, food. You see, birds eat insects, and the spider tail knows this. So, rather than trying to chase his prey down, This lazy fucker has evolved the evolutionary equivalent of DoorDash. You see, when a viper feels like a meal, it'll start the hunt by finding a nice rocky outcrop to curl up on like a couch. And due to the camouflage on his scales, this snake becomes practically invisible. Once he's nice and cozy, he begins to slowly wiggle his tail back and forth in front of his face, perfectly mimicking the motion of an insect. Think of this as him placing his Uber Eats order.
Bro.
Meanwhile, up in the air, our undercooked chicken tender is flying around when, holy shit, a free meal! What a delectable bug just sitting there on that rock. And so, Tweety Birdie swoops down to grab himself an insect Happy Meal. And just as he's about to reach his meal,
Goodbye.
this...
Bye, Felicia. Bye.
Got him.
No.
Aussie farmers thought they were being attacked by aliens. But what was actually causing it is so much funnier. This is a wallaby, the kangaroo's vertically
wallaby.
challenged
I love
little
wallaby.
cousin. Now, to get a little more specific, this is a Bennett's wallaby, native to my home state of Tasmania. And that location is very important to the story. Tassie is home to a lot of things. Beautiful views, a seal with a felony record, and the nut. However, one thing they tend to leave off the tourism brochures is drugs. Tasmania is the world's largest exporter of illegal opium, the main ingredient in opioid painkillers like morphine, with this one tiny island producing 50% of global supply. Now, opium comes from poppy milk, and to get poppy milk, you need to milk poppies.
I didn't know that.
And to produce that 50% of global supply, Tasmanian farmers grow huge fields of these things across the north of the state. However, because throwing these flowers into a crafting table gives you f***ing narcotics, these fields are legally required to be under extremely tight security. Which is why these same poppy farmers became extremely confused when f***ing crop circles showed up in the plant equivalent of a f***ing Town Hall 9 Clash of Clans base. They were understandably absolutely f***ing bewildered by this, and some people even thought it was aliens. So to figure out whether or not it was a Halo Elite drawing this shit, they set up some cameras. And what they saw was this little shit breaking into the field, eating the milk-filled buds, getting absolutely f***eyed, and then hopping in circles until he passed the f*** out. They thought the f***ing Covenant were invading, and it was a drink-driving wallaby. Aussie farmers thought they were being... This is Australia's most common snake, and that's quite a problem, because it's also one of the world's deadliest. Introducing the eastern brown snake, native to quite literally every state in the land down under. And unluckily for us, this asshole has earned himself a silver medal in the Note Rope Olympics venom category, coming in second place for the most venomous snake in the world. It is worth noting that third and first place are unsurprisingly also both held by Australian snakes. Because God hates us. However, unlike first and third, the toxic middle child here is a far larger problem, because putting it lightly, he's a cunt. The eastern brown is one of the most territorial species of snake in the world, which is a scientific way of saying they operate on the US home defense philosophy. If you dare put a pinky toe onto this guy's property, he will bite your ass, injecting you with a hemotoxin that can send you to heaven via blood clot in under 30 minutes if left untreated.
Well, let's give you some
But
time.
hey, stay off his property and he'll leave you alone, right? Yeah, one problem. His property is your property.
I in the shower, bro.
That's right, the eastern brown doesn't live out in the middle of nowhere like his slightly more deadly cousin. This fucker is so at home in the suburbs, he drives a f***ing Prius. You can find this burnt piece of spaghetti literally anywhere. Go to put your shoes on, he's turned them into a 2-bedroom home. hop in the car to go to work. Yeah, unfortunately, that's his car now. Get to work on the...
I ain't gonna lie, I'm throwing that whole car away.
Yes, I've seen too many videos where like the ceiling cracks and big old snakes just like
coming through the ceilings and stuff.
I'd be like, oh my god.
I see like the videos they coming through the shower drains and stuff. I can't.
Yes.
Insane.
Burn
Oh,
the
I
house
seen one
down.
coming through the toilet. I don't know how that even possible.
Burn
Craziness.
the house. They go to the pipes. Then they just wrap around the toilet.
That's crazy.
The job site? What do you know? He works here too. Try to take a shower after a long day at work.
See?
F off. He's moisturising. You can't even
bonnet.
take a
Or a shower
in the
cap.
comfort of your own home without running the risk of the dunny being
There you go.
occupied.
There you
In
go.
fact,
That's what I'm saying, bro. Imagine you just taking number 2 and it just come and bite you.
Like, what if it's nighttime and you don't turn the light on? You just run to the bathroom real quick and you just open the toilet and you about to sit and boom, grab your balls.
That's crazy. I would never want to use it ever again on a toilet.
these bastards are so omnipresent that out of the 200 species of snake in the country, this ginormous asshole makes up 60% of snake bites.
Wow.
What a cunt.
I don't like you, bro. I don't.
Touching this plant will put you in the hospital. I'm dying. This is the Gimpy plant, a piece of
Gimpy
foliage
plant.
native to the land down under. And surprising no one,
So I don't
not
wanna
only
move
is
there.
the
Look
thing
at all the stuff
venomous,
they got
it
out
is in
there.
I
fact
don't
the
even
most
wanna visit
painful
anymore.
plant on the planet. Because
I
yeah,
need to
no, of
tourist
course,
guide.
man, even the fucking leaves down here have a problem with me. Growing in the rainforests of northern Queensland, these hell bushes are covered in tiny hairs that, upon closer inspection, aren't hairs at all and are actually thousands of hypodermic needles waiting to stab you and break off inside your skin if you so much as brush them. Once inside you, these needles will inject you with, I am not kidding, neurotoxin and cause absolutely excruciating pain. I mean, like comedic levels of pain. With one person describing it as being covered in hot acid and electrocuted, and another woman saying that it was straight up more painful than childbirth and she'd given birth 4 times. And the
Wow.
fucked up part is, the neurotoxin isn't even lethal. So this spiteful cunt of a plant is hurting you purely for the love of the game. Mind you, there are reports of people saying getting stung by this thing is actually worse than being put in the ground. This is because Groot's little hellspawn cut.
Well, y'all cap. How do y'all even know what it feels like to be put in the ground, bro? Just chill. And I see the dude, he's injecting himself with it. Like, what's wrong with you, bro?
That man just loves to just test it out.
He's fearless, man.
Person here can continue hurting you for literal years after being stung.
What?
This is because those thousands of little hypodermic needles are actually made out of silicon, meaning your body can't break them down. And with how thin they are, your skin will usually close up over the top of them, meaning that these neurotoxin emitting slivers can sit inside your skin for literal years, releasing more neurotoxin any time that they're moved or disturbed.
Oh wow.
Years?
You would have to take a microscope and make sure you get everything off of me because oh heck no.
I can't. That's crazy.
This constant, chronic, agonizing pain is so unbelievably bad that there have even been records of, trying not to get banned here, people Alt F4ing existence to make it stop. This particular incident came from a man who accidentally used one of the plant leaves as toilet paper.
Oh.
I don't think it gets much worse than neuro.
Dang, I ain't gonna lie. I've been the fearless thing I've seen so far is that plant. I think that's the worst thing ever.
How do you accidentally use it as toilet paper?
I mean, if you gotta go, you gotta go. I mean, I'm not using a leaf anyways. If I gotta use it, I'm not using a leaf. I'm about to use, like, I don't know what I have on or something. I'm not using a leaf now. They're crazy. That's been outside. What are you doing? You gotta use the restroom. What are you using? Like, if you in a forest like that, what are you gonna use?
First of all, I'm always prepared.
Yeah, you come on, bring some wipes or something. You gotta be prepared.
You
Like,
gotta be prepared. If you're camping, you
Yeah.
can't just be, or you're just gonna have to cut it off and pull your pants back up.
yeah.
A gorilla can't beat 100 men in a fight. He gets jumped. But that begs
I
the
remember this,
question,
100
which
man versus
animal
gorilla,
does
man.
win? And the answer, stepping into the ring at 5 meters long and weighing in at a genuinely frightening 4,500
Dang, that's a
kilos,
big boy.
I present to you the Hippopotamus.
Mouth is crazy.
Yeah, look, a hippo causing a 100-long line at the gates of heaven after a fight is honestly pretty plausible. You see, despite the fantastic PR work Moo Dang has done for the hippopotamus community, doesn't change the fact that Moto here is a sentient Ford F-150, the temperament of a fucking serial killer who can win this fight for one very specific reason. You can't fucking hurt it. Yeah! You say the hippopotamus is possibly the tankiest land animal on the fucking planet, packing an unbelievably thick 2-inch hide. Now look, we all know 2 inches is a lot, especially in the sheets, but in the streets of the African savannah, this makes them practically Don't believe me? Here is a hippopotamus walking away from 10 lions trying to convert it into a family meal. Notice how the hippopotamus does not give a single fuck.
He's chilling,
If Mufasa and his extended family can't hurt it, neither can you. However, don't let the fact that it's walking away fool you here. The hippopotamus is not a peaceful animal. They are, in fact, violent, psychopathic, 4.5-ton thundercats that can and will bite you in half. A hippo's jaw produces 2,000 psi of pure crushing force. So if he catches your ass...
That's crazy.
Literally in zoos, they just throw them a watermelon. They can just crush it.
I always wanted to do that though. That's so fire. I always see videos like that.
You are the watermelon.
And as if the hydraulic press wasn't bad enough, don't forget they've got 2 20-inch fangs in that mouth that'll put a hole in you big enough to stick your f***ing arm through. But honestly, the bite doesn't even f***ing matter. It weighs 4.5 tons and can run at 30k an hour.
That's kind of fast, bro.
Getting hit by a charging hippo is like getting hit by a f***ing bus. There is no way we are winning a fight against something that could probably take out 10 people just by rolling over. In summary, don't f*** with the hungry hippo.
Don't do it.
A gorilla.
That was insane. Wow. I learned so much stuff about hippos, spiders, plants, snakes, everything. Hippos.
Yes.
Which one was like the worst you think can like...
Spiders. Imagine being asleep and then all of a sudden you just feel something and you jump and you just get... Like, they used to tell us people eat like, what is it? They eat like a spider a night, basically.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. A year or something like that.
And in a year, you probably eat like 50 spiders or something like that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because they just crawl all up in your area.
Yeah, and there's people who be sleeping with that. Well, everybody mostly sleep with their mouth open, honestly. Yeah,
but like a snake, you can see them mostly because they're long bodies. You're going to see something.
Yeah, true. You
but
are
a
going to
spider,
see them.
it's like they can be small or even when they're big. Like
You can't
that
see them in
one
the dark either, so...
that flattens and be in your car. Just imagine sitting down in the car and then boom.
It's crazy because I got a weird spider senses. It could be a spider in the corner, and I promise you I can spot it just like looking. I don't know why is that. I'm not lying. It can be super small, and I sense it.
It's your sixth sense. You're catching eyes staring at you.
You think that's what it is?
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that video. That was amazing. What can you say? Amazing too.
Yes, I love to learn about these things so that I can avoid them.
Yeah.
Tell me everything. So in any possible situation, I know to get up out of there.
But yeah, man, if you guys enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe. Go subscribe to Tasia YouTube channel and go follow her on TikTok. Go follow her on Instagram. And I love you guys and see y'all next video. Peace.